There is a lot of energy going on right now. I'm gonna do my best to channel it. Let's see. So there is a passing of tests, a noticing in your own life of repeated energies coming back in, and you being unaffected by them or affected differently, but I'm getting unaffected. When you, like, the theme lately has been letting go and shedding of like old ways of being so that we can recalibrate and learn necessary lessons to evolve for our soul's evolution and for the evolution of the planet. When past energies return, sometimes there's a lesson in re-engaging with that energy. Other times, there's nothing more to gain. There's nothing more to learn. And it is so funny how when we let go of one energy, God, it doesn't leave you, does it? It will re-present itself in numerous different ways, in numerous different people, places, opportunities. It shows up in your life until you are fully ready to release, fully ready to let it go. Unless you don't want to, and then and then have no fear, for it will return to you, whether or not that's for your good. Ultimately for your good, of course, but what I'm saying is whether or not you really want that. Like, there are opportunities here to learn lessons, and passing these tests means responding to these energies in a different way, in a way that it's not affecting you anymore. There's also something here about nervous system regulation. So when we talk about nervous system regulation, what I feel and see a lot of people doing is actually energy suppression, nervous system suppression, not honoring the needs of your body, not honoring your emotional needs, and just trying to not feel things that are uncomfortable. In order to actually expand our nervous system capacity, it involves feeling. Now, you do not have to feel everything all at once. We can do something called titration, where we seek the edges of these emotions and titrate into a small part of this experience and back out into something more pleasurable or a distraction, something like this. We expand our capacity through our ability to be with sensation. And we are often taught, what I see is a nervous system regulation being used as a way to suppress what is there to be felt. Another note, we do not release trauma. What bullshit. We metabolize information. Okay, you are not going to like get rid of things that happen to you. I'm very sorry if this is news to you. What you are going to do is ingest this situation and use it for your greater good and for the greater good of the all. It is a process of metabolizing, of utilizing energy in a way that is honoring the pain of what has happened to you. I'm not saying to find a silver lining or to act like everything is all good. But everything does happen for your greater benefit and for your evolution and for your growth. Now, if we are using nervous system regulation as a form of suppression, as a form of, oh, well, I'm feeling sad, so I'm going to regulate myself into feeling better, that's not what I want you to do. That's not what nervous system regulation is about. We don't always have to feel our grief 24/7 all the time, but learning to experience it is part of nervous system regulation. There is no getting around your emotional digestion. And if you don't process that stuckness, those ruminating, looping thoughts, that tightness in your fascia, in your muscles, that shortness of breath, that tightness in your throat. If this is not processed appropriately, it lingers. It holds you captive, physically and mentally. So we can titrate. We can learn to move with our grief, to feel it honestly. And at the same time, we can use tools and techniques to not fix yourself, right? But learn how to be with yourself better. Learning how to sit with those uncomfortable things. Learning how to sit with your breath. Watch your own heartbeat. Observe your own thoughts. Lovingly, unconditionally, letting all of it exist within you. Yeah, because if you don't, this is where you get stuck. So there's something there about tying that into these patterns that you are passing your tests through at the moment. The more you can be with these tests, the more you will learn and grow from them. There is something about avoidance which feels protective. Avoidance feels protective, but it's not the same thing as a boundary. Okay? So creating a boundary is magnetic. It's an energy of, I've learned my lessons, I know what my deepest needs are, and I'm setting up structures in place for what I already know is my highest benefit. Avoidance and boundaries come from a sense of empowerment, and avoidance comes from a sense of fear. Whether that's a fear to feel something, a fear to face something, a fear of your own reactions and a judgment of that in a situation. Abstinence doesn't always mean that you are effectively processing something. It might mean you're just avoiding dealing with the reality of it. And that's why people can go back into old patterns, because they have this sense of avoidance is doing the work, rather than looking at your own psyche, looking at your own body, looking at your own breath, looking at your own thoughts and feelings and patterns and reactions in the face of the thing that you don't want to face, in the face of the thing that you're avoiding. And by all means, if you've already learned your lessons, set up your boundaries and let that come from a place of self-empowerment. And boundaries are magnetic. Boundaries cause a pull toward yourself, and it is palpable. Rather than leaking your own energy into people and situations, a boundary plugs up where that energy was previously going. It and recycles it back to yourself. You could imagine this as an aura. I mean, like, if you don't already see it, imagine it. I'll teach you how to see it. An aura, and you can see it in people's skin, in the way that they glow, in their energy, in their posture, in the way that they carry themselves, in the way that they speak. You can feel when someone is tending to their own garden, when someone has a channel. I don't know why I'm because people imagine, but it's actually like the center of the universe is like right in here. Right in here. It's all within. And you can constantly channel from this creative womb space that each of us have. God is the divine mystery, life, the substrate of life itself, the causation of all movement. It's within. And the more you recycle your own energy, the more you plug up those energy leaks, stop engaging with outside drains, the more access you have to that. Can you hear that? The more access you have to that still inner voice, which allows you to channel evolution rather than ego patterns, stuck habits, things you'd rather get rid of. Feedback loops and self-trust happens when you begin to listen to this inner voice and start to operate from your own knowing rather than I should, rather than this is more logical. Sometimes this doesn't make any sense, but the more you follow it and the more you see how it works, you develop a feedback loop with your external experience and internal experience, which teaches you to trust it even more. This is developing self-trust, which in itself is nervous system healing. We, through trauma, can lose so much of our own sense of being and trust in ourselves and our own actions and the world around us. And that's a devastating feeling to engage in, and it creates continual feedback loops where you are looking and all you can see is trauma compounding, right? But this experience of self-trust, one of the fastest ways out of that perpetual trauma feedback loop. What else have I got for you in my notes? Yeah, practicing being with yourself, creating silence, and creating a space is essential for this self-listening to occur. And weekend practice in meditation, that's definitely an excellent, awesome start. However, also in your daily life, if you're constantly, and I'm guilty of this, constantly listening to podcasts, always need music on, need something going on in the background, stop that shit. Have the space to have conversations with yourself internally. Maybe just practice when you are folding clothes, doing laundry, making your bed. Start small, like 5-minute tasks where you would normally gotta chuck something on to do it. Learn how to just be silent and start to have kind and loving, or just simply observational conversations with yourself where you are listening to what's going on internally. This is how to get in tune in real time. I'm gonna finish up this message soon. Oh wait, that was it. If you've learned your lessons, congratulations. Congratulations, because you are being spiritually rewarded for your perseverance, for your trust in yourself, and you've been around the ringer enough times to know what's good. So congrats to you on your evolution and growth. This full moon was a significant marker in time for a certain closing of certain energies. There is still shedding to be done. Depending on when you're seeing this, it's the 4th of January 2026 here. I do trust you'll get this message whenever you need it. But yeah, that's about all I've got for you, my love. Hope you're having a beautiful time wherever you are. And take care of that beautiful heart of yours. Until next time, you got this.